everyone, welcome back to Velvet Moments. The moment the members of BTS stepped into America again, the entire internet seemed to stop breathing for a second. Airports became louder, social media timelines exploded within minutes, and ARMY around the world immediately began sharing every tiny detail they could capture. But among all the excitement, one thing quietly stole everyone's heart the most: the way Jimin and Jungkook arrived together once again, staying close from the very beginning until the moment they disappeared into their vehicle. It wasn't a dramatic moment. There were no speeches, no staged interactions, no grand announcement. And maybe that is exactly why fans became so emotional. Because with Jimin and Jungkook, it has always been the smallest moments that feel the most sincere. As cameras flashed endlessly around the airport entrance, fans immediately noticed how naturally the two moved together. While the other members greeted staff and security, Jimin instinctively slowed down his pace beside Jungkook, matching his steps almost unconsciously. Jungkook, wearing a relaxed expression despite the overwhelming crowd, stayed incredibly close to Jimin the entire time. To casual viewers it may have looked simple. But to ARMY, especially those who have followed their bond for years, it felt deeply familiar. It felt comforting. The kind of comfort that only comes from two people who understand each other without needing words. Videos from the airport quickly spread across social media platforms within minutes. Fans replayed the clips repeatedly, pointing out tiny gestures many people would normally miss. The way Jungkook slightly turned his body toward Jimin while walking. The way Jimin kept glancing back as if checking whether Jungkook was still beside him. The way both of them entered the same vehicle together while smiling softly at fans. None of it felt forced. That's what made the moment so powerful. Over the years, ARMY has witnessed countless interactions between Jimin and Jungkook. Some moments were playful and chaotic, while others were quiet and emotional. But what makes people continue falling in love with their friendship is the consistency of their closeness. Even after years of global fame, exhausting schedules, and enormous pressure, they still somehow move around each other with the same warmth fans noticed years ago. And this arrival in America became another reminder of that connection. Fans online described the atmosphere as soft, comforting, and heartwarming. Many admitted they became emotional simply watching the two appear calm and happy together after such a long period filled with intense schedules and public anticipation. One fan wrote, "They don't even have to do anything. Just standing beside each other already feels emotional." Another said, "Jimin always looks the most relaxed when Jungkook is near him." And honestly, those comments perfectly captured why this moment spread so quickly online. Because the emotional impact did not come from something loud. It came from familiarity. From the feeling that despite everything changing around them, some things remained beautifully the same. As they continued moving through the airport, fans also noticed how protective the atmosphere around them felt. Security teams worked carefully through the massive crowd, but Jimin and Jungkook remained unusually calm. At one point, Jungkook slightly slowed his steps so Jimin could walk beside him more comfortably. Moments later, Jimin turned toward Jungkook with a tiny smile that instantly sent ARMY into emotional chaos online. That smile became one of the most replayed clips of the day. Not because it was dramatic, but because it looked real. There is something incredibly powerful about genuine comfort between two people, especially in an industry where idols are constantly observed under pressure. Every movement becomes a headline. Every interaction gets analyzed. Yet despite that intense spotlight, Jimin and Jungkook still continue showing natural chemistry that feels impossible to fake. And fans notice it immediately. That's why the airport arrival suddenly became bigger than just a travel update. It became a reminder of their bond. For years, ARMY has watched the evolution of Jimin and Jungkook's relationship. From playful younger members constantly teasing each other to mature artists who quietly support one another without needing attention, their dynamic has grown alongside BTS itself. Older fans especially became emotional during this arrival because it reminded them of earlier eras. Times when Jimin and Jungkook would cling to each other during tours, laugh uncontrollably during behind-the-scenes moments, or silently comfort one another during difficult periods. Seeing them arrive in America together again felt nostalgic. Almost like time folding back on itself. And perhaps the most touching detail was how relaxed they looked. Jimin's gentle smile appeared several times while interacting with fans, while Jungkook seemed unusually soft and calm despite the chaotic atmosphere surrounding them. Their energy together felt peaceful, almost as if simply being beside each other helped ease the exhaustion of traveling and public attention. ARMY immediately noticed this difference. Many fans commented that Jimin and Jungkook seemed happiest when walking together, describing their aura as safe and warm. Others pointed out how naturally synchronized they looked, from their walking pace to the way they reacted to fans around them. Even small gestures became huge discussion topics online. The moment Jungkook briefly waited for Jimin before entering the vehicle. The moment Jimin turned slightly toward Jungkook while smiling. The moment both of them bowed politely to fans before disappearing from sight. Each clip felt tiny on its own. But together they created something deeply emotional. That's the magic of Jimin and Jungkook's connection. Never needs to be loud. Fans also couldn't stop talking about how comforting their presence felt after so much anticipation surrounding BTS's activities. For many ARMY, seeing the members together again already felt emotional enough. But seeing Jimin and Jungkook naturally staying close throughout the arrival made the moment even more meaningful. Especially because their bond has always carried a certain emotional warmth that fans connect with deeply. There is a softness in the way they interact. A quiet understanding. A sense of trust. And those qualities become incredibly visible during moments like this. Moments where nothing is scripted and emotions appear naturally through body language alone. As evening approached, airport photos continued dominating social media trends worldwide. New angles appeared every hour, showing Jimin and Jungkook walking side by side from different perspectives. Fans zoomed into tiny details, laughing affectionately over matching expressions and synchronized movements. Some ARMY even joked that the two looked like they existed inside their own peaceful world despite the overwhelming crowd around them. And honestly, that description did not feel exaggerated. Because throughout the entire arrival, their energy remained incredibly connected. Not chaotic. Not performative. Just comfortable. That comfort is what makes people emotional every single time. In many ways, Jimin and Jungkook represent one of the most beloved emotional dynamics within BTS. Their relationship carries a balance of playfulness, loyalty, tenderness, and mutual admiration that fans have watched grow for years. Whether through concerts, documentaries, live streams, or quiet airport moments like this one, there is always an undeniable sincerity in the way they look after each other. And ARMY treasures that sincerity deeply. Especially now. Because after years of constant change, massive achievements, personal growth, and emotional challenges, seeing them together still feels like home to many fans. That is why this airport arrival resonated far beyond simple celebrity photos. It reminded people of continuity, of friendship that survives pressure, of closeness that remains steady despite fame, of small gestures that quietly say, "I'm still here with you." As the final videos from the airport circulated online late into the night, fans continued sharing emotional reactions across every platform imaginable. Some admitted they cried unexpectedly. Others said the clips made them feel comforted after stressful days. Many simply repeated the same sentence over and over again. Jimin and Jungkook together just feel healing. And perhaps that is the perfect way to describe the entire moment. Not dramatic. Not loud. Not complicated. Just healing. Because sometimes, the most unforgettable moments are not created by performances or speeches. Sometimes they happen in crowded airports, between two people quietly walking side by side, smiling softly, staying close, and reminding millions of fans around the world why their bond continues touching hearts year after year. Purple Heart.